Hello and welcome to another episode of Grange TV. It's not really a full episode. We're just going to talk about Stipe versus Jones. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's even going to happen? That's my question.
I've said from the start, I feel Jon Jones is not a heavyweight until he's booked a fight. So until he books a fight, I don't see him as being a heavyweight. I feel that Jon Jones at the moment is probably waiting to see what happens in the light heavyweight division before he makes a match in that heavyweight division. That's just my thoughts and my opinion, because I feel like Jon Jones is chasing that huge fight, that huge pay-per-view fight. He's not going to get it out of Jan.
So is he going to get it out of Miocic?
Well, I feel the biggest one in UFC right now is him and Israel Adesanya. So Jon Jones wants that fight because that's going to be the big one. He may not even have to fight in heavyweight to be able to build that as big as what it can be. But if Jan beats Israel Adesanya, then that leaves him. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to fight Israel Adesanya then, because that takes away a fair bit of Israel Adesanya's legacy. So what he may then choose is the second option, which I feel would be Stipe. That would be the second biggest fight.
Are you managing Jones' career? Because that does sound like a good plan.
It sounds like a very good plan, and I'm sure Jon Jones is no idiot. And that's what I feel is the map around what they're looking at right now, because he has no fight booked.
Yeah, so the reality is he may not even fight Stipe.
No, if Israel goes in there and beats Jan, he's going to call out Jon Jones straight away. And if that fight can, which it's going to, it's not if, it's going to create heaps of traction. It's going to be the biggest draw card in martial arts, in combat sports at this era. So that would be the fight. I feel he wouldn't even have to have a fight in heavyweight, because it's very dangerous for Jon Jones to have a fight in heavyweight, especially if it's going to be a warm-up fight. Who's he going to fight? They all have extreme power in that heavyweight division, which is very dangerous for Jon Jones. So I feel, if Israel wins over Jan, that's the fight he'll be chasing. He won't even have a fight at heavyweight.
Do you think he right now is committed to moving up to heavyweight, or do you think right now he's waiting to see the outcome of this fight with Israel and Jan?
Definitely waiting to see the outcome. If he was just interested in being a heavyweight, he would already make that fight. If he asked Dana White tomorrow, can me and Stipe fight, they would make that fight yesterday.
Do you think he wants
the contracts would already be?
Do you think he wants time to grow into a heavyweight, to put on the weight and put on the strength?
The thing with Stipe, that he wouldn't have to be that much bigger. Like, Stipe is a small heavyweight, so he wouldn't have to worry about putting on so much size for it to be a huge size difference.
John's a big guy to begin with.
Yeah, so he's still going to have the reach advantage in that fight with him and Stipe. The only thing that he might not have is the weight advantage. But Stipe is a small. 230 did he weigh in his last fight with Daniel Cormier? So that's not
something like that.
That's not huge. And what was Jon Jones would walk around 220, maybe.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't really have to put on that much mass to be able to match it with Stipe. And is that the option anyway? Is that the best option for someone moving up to heavyweight? Is to try to match them strength to strength, or is it better to just stay at your natural weight, not have to go through the weight cut, and just be able to use your other abilities?
No, I'm just curious as to what you think he's doing. Like, so you think that they're waiting on the outcome of the game?
Yeah. I don't even think that's what they're doing. It's definitely what they're doing.
Okay, so let's do this then. How do you think a fight with Miocic and Jon Jones would go, anyways?
I think Jon Jones' campus came out and said that they think they're better. Jon Jones is better than Stipe in every aspect of the game. I would disagree with that. I could not say that Jon Jones boxing is better than Stipe boxing. No, I don't agree. I think Stipe's power. Jon Jones has great striking, great kickboxing. Do you know what I mean? Moves really well, but he does not have that one punch knockout power that Stipe has. That's the huge factor there. And in a heavyweight fight, that's the difference between them light heavyweights and them heavyweights. The power difference is huge, and Stipe can create power with a short distance. He doesn't need much. So I think he would definitely have that boxing ability over Jon Jones, and also that power.
I want to ask you something. As a boxing coach,
Yeah.
and surviving the mean streets of Ballina with a record of 147-3 in street fights, unsanctioned street fights. How do you see? Because Jon Jones doesn't have. No, I'm not saying he doesn't have, but he certainly hasn't displayed the one punch stopping power so prevalent in light heavyweight and heavyweight champions. And this becomes, the higher you go up in weight, the more important that one shot stopping power is. How do you see that affecting, if at all, Jon Jones, or does Jon have the skill set to be able to circumvent that?
It's difficult to say. So we'll put someone in perspective that's already fought that light heavyweight and heavyweight, Daniel Cormier. So
who Jon has beat twice.
Yeah, but there was also that question around that did he have that one punch knockout power when he was at heavyweight? He had that one punch knockout power.
But he did. He absolutely
So
he absolutely did. And he has fast hands. Fast hands is a light heavyweight, but very fast hands for a heavyweight.
Yeah.
With the power.
So Jon Jones has fought them guys with extreme power, and that Stipe's power is still different, I feel, in that heavyweight division. If Stipe went down to light heavyweight, that would take away some of his power and some of his advantage. But I feel in that heavyweight division where he is king and probably the best heavyweight to do it, that the power advantage, I feel it would be too much. Jon Jones has not been hit. Even though he's been hit by a Daniel Cormier at light heavyweight, he hasn't been hit by a Stipe at heavyweight, or even a Daniel Cormier at heavyweight.
Or Ngannou.
That's, what other fight is there in the heavyweight division for Jon Jones? It would have to be a top 5 opponent, and them guys are all killers with huge power.
The other thing I think is, does Jon lose too much of his mechanical advantages? Like, not lose them, but does he get to enjoy them as much as he would? Like, he still has the reach over Miocic, but he at light heavyweight, apart from the last few fights, in general, he was, and Gustafsson showed this as well. He didn't really enjoy those mechanical advantages, especially Gustafsson won.
Yeah. He still have the reach advantage. I still feel that if he could stick to the outside, he would still be able to punish the body with some kicks. But when it comes to the stand up, Stipe is just, he moves on the inside really well. He slips them punches, gets on the inside. He loves the dirty box in that as well. So if you start to use that clinch, Stipe will grab you, and them short punches are damaging. That's the power difference, I feel.
Can Jon Jones out wrestle Stipe?
I don't know if Jon Jones today, I don't think can. I don't. You mean the amount of years he's been fighting now? His fight years. He doesn't seem to have that same wrestling ability that he did as a young Jon Jones.
Cormier couldn't really take Jon Jones down, like properly, hold him down, whatever. Do you think that Miocic could? Because I will tell you this: at heavyweight, the weight matters a lot in grappling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In fighting, in combat sports.
Yep.
In MMA, when a weight advantage in grappling starts to become quite telling.
Yeah,
between two evenly matched people.
I don't see Stipe trying to take him down, but the ability to take him down, I think, would be difficult as well, because Jon Jones has huge levers. He frames really well. There's a question there, but who, other than Daniel Cormier, who's tried to take Jon Jones down? Not many.
With proper success, no.
Yep.
No one.
So,
yeah.
There you go, Fab. You can send your game plan to Stipe.
I'm just curious. Curious.
No, it is. It's interesting, but no, I can't see him trying to take the fight that way.
Who do you think would win?
I feel Stipe is very confident that he's striking is superior to Jon Jones.
All right.
And in my opinion, I think Stipe, with the power and the way he can control a fight, them subtle movements, his great footwork with the boxing, he can take a punch as well. Do you know what I mean? He can, even though that he did get dropped that one time.
He got hit right on the chin.
Yeah, but you've seen in the next two fights with Daniel Cormier, and he can take some damage. So I feel that he would be able to walk through a lot of Jon Jones's shots.
Do you remember the fight with Mark Hunt and Melvin Manhoef? Do you remember the fight? If you haven't seen that fight, guys, YouTube it, watch it. You haven't seen it, Elon?
Which one? Where?
Melvin Manhoof versus Mark Hunt back in the day. I think it was in either K1 or in Pride. And Mark Hunt walked into this like hook from Melvin Manhoof right on the chin. And up until that point, Mark had never been knocked out. He'd taken a crow cop head kicks everything. And Mark's got a fantastic chin. My point is, if you get hit right on the button hard enough, you will go out. Doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah. And it can, the factors that can play a part in that as well is just the slight, if you have your jaw open a little bit more, the more your
more
brain will bounce.
Basically, this is a lever and it pushes this across and your brain rattles.
So that's how come when we watch fights and the commentators go, oh, it's dangerous now, you start to see a fighter breathe through their mouth. So their mouth is open. So if you clench your jaw and give it a little tap, you'll feel, and then open your jaw, and the amount of shock difference is huge. So,
and it can break your jaw easier.
Oh, yeah.
And then if you got to fight with a broken jaw, there's a different story again.
Yep.
Nobody wants that. All right, guys, like and subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. But please give us your thoughts, comment on there, tell us who you think will win and why. And let us know if you even think that fight will happen. You let us know if you even think that Miocic will go up to heavyweight, or if Jon is going to go up to heavyweight, or if Jon's just waiting to see if Adesanya wins. If Adesanya wins, he's going to stay at light heavyweight, fight Adesanya. If not, let us know what you think and why. Thank you so much, my friends. Take care.